Hello and welcome to Monkey Knife Fight Live. Folks, I'm Conner Rowntree, and today I'm joined by Tyler May. He's from Spari, just like DFS Donuts. And before we get into anything, Tyler, you work with DFS Donuts. What's your favorite donut, just before we get it started on the baseball?
Well, unlike DFS and donuts himself, I'm going to pick a real donut. And I'm a simple man. I like the fresh out of the oven from Krispy Kreme glazed donut. It's just nice and simple, and it always tastes good.
You know, it's a crime. We don't actually have Krispy Kreme in Canada. I've never had a Krispy Kreme donut. So there's a fact. Next thing I'm going to try when the borders open up, that's when they are open, but restrictions and flying and whatnot. Getting into the baseball picks now. We got Yankees at the Red Sox. Garrett Cole's on the bump. Eduardo Rodriguez. Two pretty high-flying strikeout pitchers. At least Garrett Cole's just a strikeout machine. Tyler, how do you see this playing out, and how does it go down on Spari?
Okay, so Garrett Cole has really bounced back from the the spider tag issue, and he's really found he's found his stuff again, and on Spari that really supports that. So if you go over to Spari and then MLB and then MLB Monkey Knife Fight, and you sort by Spari strikeouts. So we got Garrett Cole hitting the over, getting just above 8 strikeouts. So definitely taking more there. And Eduardo Rodriguez, we have him hitting the under. Let's see, where's he at? Just hitting the under at we have him at 6.3 right now. So just gonna trust it, take the under, and that's how I see it playing out.
So are you like DFS and Donuts where you go for the model first, or is it a little bit? He was saying it's 80% model and then 20% research on top. Tyler, how do you like to play it?
Yeah, so I like to look at the model, and then I like to look at recent performance too. So like, for example, Garrett Cole, his last 2 games, he's got 12 strikeouts and 11 strikeouts. So that would be, I guess like the recency that'll play into there. So, that checks out. The model checks out. So I'm definitely hitting more there. And Eduardo Rodriguez, let's see, last 2 games, 5 and 8 strikeouts. I'm just going to trust the model there. But typically I am staying with the model.
Now, how often does the model, does the number fluctuate at all throughout the day, or is that a firm number set at 6.3?
That's typically a pretty firm number, and then we just kind of have to adjust, however the lines adjust. But as far as our projections, they're pretty stand pat.
So once those projections are locked in, they're not moving. So keep that in mind, folks, on Monkey Knife Fight. Remember that the projections do move depending on how the day goes. Right now, it's 7.5 and 6.5. Obviously, Garrett Cole in the double-digit strikeouts the last 2 performances. I have him for more strikeouts. And the Spari model coming in on less on Eduardo Rodriguez, pardon me. So we're going to trust that more on Garrett Cole there, Jason. Boom. All you have to do is scroll down. You see it there. 2 for 2, pays 3 times. You can select your buy-in and go down and hit submit. Another matchup that we got to take a look at today. We got the Braves. They're visiting the Phillies. We're going to do a 3 for 3, more or less contest, and it plays 5 times. Time to make some action here. And what's the Spari model looking like for the pitchers here, Tyler? We got Zach Wheeler and Max Fried.
Yeah, so Zach Wheeler Spari has Zach Wheeler hitting the over as well. So also just over 8 strikeouts. So he's looking good there for more. And Fried for pitching outs, we have him just over 16.5. So that's kind of a push. So that's probably a situation where I would kind of go, what he's done recently, and he's pitched between 5 and 7 innings. I think it's pretty much a coin flip there. I'm going with more. Phillies lineup is a bit banged up, so I think Fried probably does pretty well here.
Now, that's a good question. When it is a tie, do you usually lean towards the more or the less on Monkey Knife Fight? A tie is in where the Spari model matches the Monkey Knife Fight projection.
I think that's a player dependent. So like different days, there's going to be, different quality players up there. Fried is a pretty dependable pitcher, and Atlanta, their bullpen's pretty bad, so he's probably gonna have a pretty long leash here. So I'm gonna take more with Fried, and then that's just where I'm leaning since it's a tie in our model.
Well, let's talk about the batter there. Freddy Freeman, obviously one of the most prolific batters in all of baseball. Total baseline on Monkey Knife Fight 1.5. Zach Wheeler's in pretty good form. We were just mentioning that. Where do you have him coming in, and where does Spari have him coming in today?
So I have Freeman in for more right now, and the Spari model has him at 1.89 total bases. So, Freddy Freeman, he has the good matchup, lefty righty against Zach Wheeler. And, Wheeler, he's been getting roughed up a little bit. His last 2 starts giving up 4 earned runs the past 2 starts. So, I mean, it's not insane to think, maybe Wheeler racks up the strikeouts, but he also gets tagged for a homer by Freddy Freeman.
And obviously that is a total baseline, folks. So a double will get you the more there. 2 singles, so literally 1 swing of the bat, and you can go for more on that one. And as we said, Freddy Freeman, one of the most prolific bats in all of baseball. So I think both of us are pretty comfortable with the more on that. We said Max Fried has a pretty strong leash, as you alluded to, the bullpen struggling in Atlanta. So we like the more on that. And then Zach Wheeler was also a more. Now, the home run blast on Monkey Knife Fight, one of my favorite things. Well, before we get into that, let's just walk through the buy-in. Oh, well, on to the home run blast now. This is one of my favorite contests on Monkey Knife Fight. Obviously, the awesome rollover prize. It's $5,000 this week. All you need to do is select 3 batters, minimum $5 entry. So that's key. Make sure that it's a minimum $5 entry, and you're in to win your share of $5,000 if all 3 of your batters hit a home run. Tyler, who are you looking at today to go yard?
Going yard. So basically how I like to do this is we're going back to the Spari Monkey Knife Fight projections, and then I like to look at the most total bases on the day. So first we got Shohei Ohtani getting just under 3 total bases. So I mean, I think that's a great starting point. He is.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah. Not a bad player. So picking Ohtani for my first slot, I feel pretty confident there. My second slot, I'm actually going with Juan Soto, and he's facing I believe Jorge Lopez from Baltimore. Lopez gives a long ball. Soto's kind of fixed a swing after the home run derby, and he checks out for Spari. We have him just under 2, so really kind of looking at an extra base there, and maybe that's a big fly. And third, I got Pete Alonso, so pretty much sticking with the guys that are in the home run derby. Pete Alonso also just under 2, and he's facing lefty Steven Matz.
So when you're looking at the home run derby, you do it through Spari and you go look at the total bases. When you were talking about the pitching, you were alluding to the previous matchups. Do you look at any previous history from the last week when you're doing the home run derby, or is that just pure model based?
So I like to look at the model and just kind of see who's popping, like who looks really good in terms of, because total bases that kind of alludes to, the guys are going to hit.
And when they hit it, they're going to hit it hard. Yeah.
Yeah. They're going to be hitting the ball in the air. They're going to be hitting the ball far. So that's really what I look for in the home run blast, and the pitching matchups as well. That kind of plays into it. So like I alluded to, Lopez going for Baltimore against Juan Soto gives up a lot of home run balls. So that makes sense to me. And Pete Alonso, he grades out really well for us. But like I said, just under 2 total bases in our projections. So that pretty much tells me he's going to be driving the ball. So, and typically when Pete drives the ball, he hits it pretty far.
I like the 3 picks. I'm leaning towards Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He has 4 home runs in his last 4 games, second most home runs in the majors behind Ohtani. Obviously, Ohtani's a great pick. Can't really argue with that. Try to mix it up here, though. So I like Matt Olson as well. He has 2 home runs in his last 3 games, another home run derby guy that you were alluding to. And then for a matchup that I'm really intrigued by, I like Jesus Aguilar. He's got 3 hits and 2 home runs in 6 at-bats against Joe Musgrove. So I really like the Jesus Aguilar matchup. Where does he come in on Spari? Perfect. Thanks, Jason.
Let's see. I don't see him in our current model, but I'm going to refresh real quick. But both Vlad Guerrero and Matt Olson projected for over 2 total bases. So that kind of falls in line with what we were just talking about. Yeah, I'm not seeing Jesus Aguilar in there yet, but
quite literally,
he's probably just really good. So,
well, the numbers seem to support it lately, and he's also, as I alluded to with the Musgrove matchup, I mean, 3 hits and 2 home runs and just 6 at bats. Guy's hitting 500 with a couple dingers. Can't be too upset about that. Any other matchups, any other players that you might want to look out for in the home run derby? In case some people want to mix it up, you can always enter more than one. Remember that, folks.
Yeah. So, Fernando Tatis is always a good pick. Let's see here. Rafael Devers, he's facing Garrett Cole, but he does kill right-handed pitching. So that's a solid place to go. So let's see, who else are we?
Is Yadier Molina on there right now? I was looking at Yadier Molina. He's hitting 450 against Tyler Mahle with a pair of dingers and 20 at bats, 9 hits, 2 home runs. It's not a bad matchup. Where does he come in on Spari?
Let's see.
I should put my mic on. 1.51 total bases projected from MySpari. Walks and hits are 1.26. Runs and RBIs 1.02. So falls below that 2 total bases number I think Tyler's referring to in a lot of these. But hey, Yadi's a legend, so maybe there's some nostalgia behind the play.
Yeah, you never know. Maybe Yadi runs into one. So sometimes when you see a pitcher that just kind of continues. So that may be the case with Yadi.
Always like to see those favorable matchups, folks. So make sure, remember, you can also play Monkey Knife Fight's Home Run Blast in individual games as well, if you just want to take a shot at that. But probably playing it with the bigger slates is just more fun for me. I like playing it across a bunch of games. So make sure you punch in your 3 picks. Obviously, Tyler gave us a bunch of great options there. I gave you my 3 picks. Go with Juan Soto, Pete Alonso, Fernando Tatis, Shohei Ohtani, all great options. And once you have your 3 guys, make sure you hit select, go down, and you can see your prize amount there. Your goal is obviously, you just need, if all 3 of them get a home run, you want to win big. But if just one of them gets a home run, you double your money. It's a minimum $5 entry on Monkey Knife Fight. Remember that minimum $5 entry to get in to win the $5,000. So make sure that if you have $5 to spare, why not have some fun with the home run derby? Tyler, any other contests that you want to take a look at today on Monkey Knife Fight?
Yeah, I'm actually taking a look at Texas at Houston and checking out the more or less with the 3 out of 3 and taking a look at Jake Odorizzi. So we have Odorizzi coming in at 3.8 strikeouts, and that's good for the under right there. The line I see is 4.5, so taking less right there. And Adolis Garcia, he's a solid home run threat, and I'm taking more for the total bases there because if Odorizzi's not getting the strikeouts, he's probably getting tagged pretty well. So Adolis Garcia makes sense there, and Jose Altuve, I am taking more for the we got the hits and walks, and we have him at 1.6, so that's good for the over. And facing Colby Allard, which is not a bad matchup for Jose Altuve at all.
Well, I know it's pretty old now with Jose Altuve, but obviously the guy draws a lot of walks, small strike zone, not the tallest guy. Old at this point, but still very, very true, and it factors in, no doubt. So there you go, folks. There's a 3 for 3 contest on Monkey Knife Fight. Remember, just scroll down, select your buy-in, plenty of options there, and make sure you hit submit down below. You can see the prize, you see the buy-in, and boom, you're in to win. One matchup that I want to take a look at was a pitching battle. It's the Blue Jays visiting New York, but not to play the Yankees this time. They're facing off with Jason's team, the Mets. Jason, can we get a go Mets?
LFGM, boys. Let's fucking go Mets.
You're going to lose tonight. Go Blue Jays. All right. Well, for the pitching matchup, Steven Matz hasn't eclipsed 6 strikeouts. I believe he's done it once in his last 5 games, his last 5 starts. We were talking about this before the show, coming in on Spari as a less. on Monkey Knife Fight as well. So we both like the less on that. And then for Tyler Magel, we were going back and forth on that one. The Blue Jays have the second fewest strikeouts in the league. Right now on Monkey Knife Fight, it's 5.5. So he needs 6 strikeouts. A veteran, hard-hitting lineup. I like Vladdy to go long. I took him in my home run derby. I think he's going to get banged up. I don't think this is going to be a nice welcoming to the majors. So take less on his strikeout line in my books. Go down, select your buy-in, 2 for 2, and that's my pick. Tyler, what do you think about the Blue Jays versus the Mets today? How do you see that going?
I think the Blue Jays are gonna hit pretty well. We saw McGill his last time out, and he just it looked like the Pirates second time around, they were starting to figure him out. So he pitched against the Pirates on the 10th. He struck out 7 hitters, but his last time out, he only struck out 2. So teams may start to be, getting the scouting report on him, starting to figure him out. So I think, the Blue Jays probably one of the best lineups in baseball. They probably have a solid plan going into tonight, and I think McGill probably gets roughed up a little bit.
Yeah, and I think one thing that's really important, I did say it, but I was rushing through a bit there. The Blue Jays have the second fewest strikeouts against in the majors. So they are very, very particular at what they swing at. And when they do swing, they like to send the birdie flying, that's for sure. So folks, that's the Blue Jay matchup. Tyler, any other matchups that you wanted to take a look at today on Monkey Knife Fight?
Let's see. So I think, if you're going like a cash game kind of a look, I like going to just straight up, in the main games, just the more or less 2 for 2, kind of getting your feet wet. And then, today I like, I already said Garrett Cole for more, and, Freddy Peralta against, the White Sox. I'm actually going less there.
Yeah. The White Sox have a solid lineup. And if I'm not mistaken, they're still leading the Central Division there. So it's, that's a good team. Folks, thank you so much for tuning into Monkey Knife Fight Live. Tyler, thanks so much for joining us, man. I really, really appreciate it. And more importantly, thank you so much for alluding that an apple fritter is not a donut.
Before we go, guys, a couple of people in the chat. First of all, Tyler, you're a very popular man. Team A, baby, a lot of fire emojis. Let's go Team A. Team A, okay. And then from Ricky Hack, Mr. Tree Sport, I think he's referring to you, Connor, help me purchase a new computer with his fire UFC picks.
Ooh.
You're welcome, buddy. We got UFC picks coming up this afternoon. I was 5 for 5 on my main card picks last week, and obviously AJ knows what he's talking about. But we're here talking baseball, and we had a great show today. That was awesome. We just ran through some great picks, folks. I'm excited for some baseball action tonight now. Blue Jays, I'm watching that long ball, and just Shohei Ohtani. One thing before we go, how about that? Like the record-setting pace and the fact that he pitches as well. I know it's kind of a broken record now hearing it because everyone's been talking about it this season, but you got a platform right now, Tyler. Do you just have any notes on Shohei Ohtani?
So Shohei Ohtani, he is the best player to ever step foot on a baseball field. Just it's not particularly close. He throws 100 and he can hit a ball about 500 feet. So no one's been able to do that at a high level, and it's just enjoy it while we can.
Yeah, he looks like he's playing in the Sandlot. And what I found absolutely incredible was, I forget who they were playing last week. I forget who the Angels were playing, but it was in the 9th inning, and he literally went down for a golf shot. Like it was at his ankles, and he drove it out of the yard. Like the power and the strength to get through that is absolutely incredible. And you said it as well. The guy just throws the heat when he's on the mound. Absolutely incredible. Obviously, not a shoe-in for the MVP, pardon me, but he'll definitely be up there in the rankings. Tyler, thank you so much for joining us today. Folks, thank you for tuning in. I'm Conner Rowntree. That's Tyler May. Remember to hit it hard.